Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today, continuing our final looks at the Transformers Earthrise line. This is Decepticon Fasttrack. For those of you who are older fans such as myself, you might remember that Fasttrack was the little partner drone figure that came with Scorponok. And in Earthrise, Fasttrack is actually now a weaponizer. But he still interacts with Scorponok, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. Right now, we're just taking a look at the robot mode here. Fasttrack does have its signature full hand blasters and comes with this little dagger tip. It's actually a pretty cool figure, and I kind of wish that we got this during Siege to kind of balance out the Decepticon weaponizers, because all we got was Brunt, and that was an okay weaponizer, not great. So articulation is basically what you would think. You have some movement here in the shoulders, you have swivel here in the arms, that's because they're pegged in. You do actually have some great knee and hip movement there because of the joints and swivels, and of course ankle pivot. The head is on a swivel, and that's about all. So I think we'll just stop from there and get into the transformation. Okay, I've gone ahead and brought Fasttrack. I don't know if there was a space between those two parts of his name or not. The box says no, but I brought him to a neutral pose, and I've just put the little dagger weapon off to the side. For the transformation, you are going to want the guns pegged into the hands. Just a little thing I forgot to mention, having them here in the shoulders. They do fit, but it's a little loose. Step one, you want to come along the back here and remove this back section. The second step is you're going to want to detach the chest from the waist, and just pops off like that. And I got to tell you, it is a little bit of a tricky thing to do. And while you have it, just go ahead and rotate the actually no, do not rotate the head around, just leave it like that, but do bring the arms forward like so. We can straighten things out later. And let's come on down to the legs. What you want to do now is flip out these sections that are around the hip. Now, I should mention, you got some tabs here, and you got some tabs down here at the leg. You want to keep an eye on those, and you have actually some tabs here on the back of the leg. Those are all going to work together for transformation and some of the modes, weapon modes, but they sometimes don't you get used in other modes. Like these tabs here don't get used in robot mode. So I'm kind of curious if there's going to be some sort of retool down the line where this works. So what you're going to do now is fold the legs all the way up, and you want to make sure that the calf pegs into the thigh there, just like so. And then what you're going to do is bring the feet down, and they're going to peg into those hip back rib pieces, and you'll know you have it right if the bottom part of the vehicle can roll. The next step you want to do is come in this way, and actually, I'm sorry, yeah, you do want to rotate the head around, and then you're going to rotate the arms around, just like so, just like that. And you want to do it now is rotate the fists around so that the guns are pointing upward, and there's two pegs here. They're going to go into the chest, and that will basically cover up the head. And now what you want to do is you're going to peg those two tabs there into some tabs underneath that canopy. Just get it lined up. Everything will just slide into place. There's like little grooves and openings for everything to come together. And that will just slide into the back there, and straighten up the, just want to, unfortunately, because you know you're working with these joints and stuff, and they're not loose, but they are designed to come undone. And this is the base vehicle mode, what you can do now is bring the little dagger back in, and right there is a slot. You want to make sure that slot's facing up, and you can peg it into the back of the head. And what that slot is for is if you have any Titan Masters or Headmasters, depending on how you want to refer to them, and they can actually sit. So I guess really that's for Lord Zarek to ride around Scorponok in city mode. But I kind of dig the vehicle mode. It's kind of nice. You can move the arms up and down to position the guns and what have you. As you can see, I am fiddling with it a little, just because I am a little clenched on keeping it even and stuff, which is kind of hard to do with these weaponizers, as we all know, because they're really more parts formers. So we're going to pause. I'm going to go back to robot mode, and then I'm going to show you a couple of the weapon modes. Okay, so I've brought Fasttrack back to robot mode. Now to start, we have to prepare the various pieces for the weapon modes, and we're going to start again by removing the backpack. I already have the little dagger tip off to the side. We can now remove the arms, just like so. Do have the fists rotated, prop it back up. I guess now you can go ahead and rotate the head around and pop the chest off again. Sometimes it's a little bit easier said than done. And you also got to be careful you're not taking it off the mushroom peg that connects to the hip. I usually find it easier. Oh, there we go. So you got that piece. Go ahead and rotate that hip, the waist piece around, and disengage the legs. So these are all the pieces we have. What can we do with them? Well, let us begin, shall we? First thing you want to do is come back in. Go ahead and reattach the legs so they're facing outward with the wheels facing up. What you'll then do is come to this piece, butterfly it open, and then right here you form a peg hole, but there are two little tab slots that will fit in and basically hold that open and peg in just like that. There's some holes on the bottom of the feet, so go ahead and peg that in like so. Now with the arms, all you're going to really want to do is the first arm you're going to peg in to that waist piece. You want to use the arm that's, what is this, the right arm, so that the tab there is facing out to the side, and then you'll bring the left arm in, peg it into the gun barrel with the peg out to the left, and presto changeo, rearrangeo. Get that. I kind of don't remember the right position for this, but you kind of have the spear. I mean, you can basically hold it either way, I guess. It's up to you. I haven't opened up Scorponok yet, so I don't really know how well it holds. I do see there are some slots here, so hopefully there are grooves in the hand. And yes, you're not using this piece. I mean, it's kind of nice, but there is that issue where it can be a little droopy, and I do feel it is a little undersized. I think the right way is having the wheels facing outward. So I think you want to have that going that way, but it's really up to you. It's as long as you have the blade parts pegged in, that's good. So now let's go ahead and remove the handle. And of course, I should mention you can just modify this any which way you want. It's up to you. So put those off to the side. You're going to want to leave this piece together. And now the next step is, let's see, we're going to remove these and position them in a way that you want them so this peg is going to be facing towards the figure. We're going to make a backpack, so that's going to go in that way. And you want the wheel pieces to be positioned in such a way that they're facing up, and you're going to peg them into the hips by the ports at the bottom of the feet, just like so. Come in, you can, I guess, do this now. Rotate the robot head back around, and peg that in like that. This is actually going to be the chest is actually going to be the backpack piece, and you'll have it like, just angle it down like that. And then finally what we're going to do is, you want to come in here on the side and peg the guns in, and then rotate so that the elbow is straight, or is it the other way? See now? Yeah, I think you want to peg it so the pieces are facing inward, and then rotate the forearm. Peg the arms in so those little posts are facing inward, and then rotate them so the elbows are up. And there you have this ginormous backpack. How about we bring a figure in to try this out on, shall we? Here's good old Sunstreaker. Yes, I know it's an Autobot. Ooh, crossing the streams. How to remove his weapon. This is a great time to mention that, again, that Sunstreaker cannot hold that little spoiler thing as a weapon. It just doesn't fit into his hand. And, the port, like, because this pig is kind of loose, yeah, there we go. I had to play with it to get it in. Bring those down. And then what you can do is peg this into the arm on this side. And why not peg this thing into the arm on the other side, because that's the only way you can hold it. I should mention the instructions do show them using the runabout, run amok. I think Sunstreaker, unfortunately, his shoulder pylons are a little too big. Let's zoom out just a touch. But I gotta say, he does cut a fancy jib with these weapons. So yeah, that looks kind of cool. And again, weaponizers, you can do whatever you want with them. That's the beauty of it. Again, I'm just trying to keep everything somewhat straight. I do like the little shield, gun, dagger thingy. And, I mean, this Sunstreaker is supporting it, so that is a good thing. But that's about it for the figure. Again, like I said, create your own weaponizer bit. So we'll pause, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. One thing I want to point out is, like I said, you saw with Sunstreaker, this post is a little loose, but when you do fold it up, it kind of stays. Also, this is where the instructions tell you to store the dagger in robot mode. But I do find that pegging it on one of those posts right there comes out quite nicely. Other than that, when going back into robot mode and reattaching the arms, you want to use that lower hole right there, not the upper one. Gives them a little bit of a shoulder pads. But yeah, I like Fasttrack. I liked Fasttrack when I had Scorponok as a kid. It was a smaller figure to fool around with. I think it's a good old time to have. We've kind of already been spoiled and have seen that this will be repainted into Black Rorichi, which is the partner drone for Black Zarek, or Black Scorponok, who was in the Master Force cartoon. And, this all in gold, and becomes the spear weapon for black Zarek because Zarek had a spear. The only difference was it was actually red. So why they didn't paint it red, I don't know. I mean, I think they were trying to do two homages. At least if you get Black Warichi, you don't have to worry about the figure crumbling in your hands like you would a vintage Black Warichi or whatever the Black Zarek's drone's name is. Guys, you got to look up the videos of people opening up vintage Black Zareks. It's funny, but it's not funny because, you know, Scorponok's feet will crumble sometimes, but I have yet to see one where they got a Black Warichi in that gold plastic that was still in one piece. I mean, some people were opening bags, it was dust. But yeah, definitely the figure's worth a pickup if you can find it. I know Amazon has these guys popping in and out of stock for $17.99, $18.99. So that's definitely a great price to grab it at. Or you can wait for it to show up at your local retail. I don't want to tell you guys how to shop. You know, you got your own little magic and deals and what have you. But if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I do appreciate the views. The liking, commenting, and subscribing tells my masters at YouTube that they should promote my channel. And hey, maybe we can get to 5,000 subscribers before Christmas. I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but hey, if you really want to support the channel, there's always my Patreon, www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. There's a little card here in the corner and a link in the description. All I ask for is $1 a month. No thrills, no tears, no rewards. All it is you helping me just a little to keep bringing content like this to you and, you know, updating my equipment and things of that nature. But in the end, your views, your support, your comments, those mean the world to me. As we're in November now and we're entering the end of the year. So, and I don't think I have to tell you that 2020 has been a bit of a stretch. I mean, we thought Copa was going to be the worst of it, but some of us are still kind of reeling from that. And we do have the rise of those reviewers who are basically reviewing product off of the Vietnam conveyor belts and in the factories. So watching my videos of a, you know, officially released product fresh from the box, you know, that I was purchased in a legitimate store in a legitimate fashion really means a lot to me. So thank you. This is your old pal Chuck for Fast Track. We will see you next time.